It's time for a trade and get paid. Forex forecast. It's raining pips out here.
All right, guys, so let's jump into it. We got another Forex forecast. This is for Sunday, February 13th, the week of, leading after, and we're going to have a really nice week in the market. So check this out. What we actually have going on is I actually am starting you on the 4-hour chart this week, because if you watched the video last week, and you can link that above, click that button above to watch last week's video, I was on the weekly chart and I showed you basically how we have some patterns forming and that we have kind of an area of indecision. And so we're getting some pretty steep pullbacks. However, by the end of the week, they're right back in the same position again. This is 2 weeks in a row where we've had pin bar type candlesticks forming on the weekly chart, showing indecision in the market. I do think we're going to have some movement this coming week. And, so I wanted to kind of bring you down to the 4-hour so I could show you how you can make some money on that movement. So with that being said, we're looking at GBPAUD 4-hour chart. And what we have going on here is a couple of things. Number one, I want to show you very quickly that you have a really strong area of support right in here. Why? Because it was a ceiling, became a floor, and it hasn't been touched since. Secondly, you have another strong area of support here. Was a ceiling. You can look back. Now it's a floor. Hasn't been touched since. Kind of came close in here. And then last but not least, you have this one right in here. You can go to the wick, or you can really go to the bodies. In this case, I'm going to take the bodies up top. Why? Because you have a nice supply and demand zone right in here. And that's what we want to kind of go off of. What I showed you that for is for the purpose of showing you how if you go from back here, right? So you kind of have structure back in here, right? If you kind of look back, I want you to notice how these zones from major support to major support to major support to major support are getting smaller and smaller with each one. And the reason is because price is slowing down. We had big move, pullback, big move, pullback, big move. And so now those moves are getting substantially smaller, which generally tells us that we're coming to the end, or maybe not the end, but a slowdown point where you're going to see either a reversal or some sideways movement before another push in the same direction for a continuation. So with that being said, we do have support, support, support. The last one is what we're going to go from. Okay, so let's get rid of these. And last but not least, if you take your fib, go from most recent up to here, up to the top, you can see right in here that your 50 line is being tested exactly. So that's, look at that, how beautiful that is. Your 50 line got tested exactly right here. So fib looks good, support looks good. We got a real strong push off of that 50, and now to kind of get a little bit more, in depth and closer here, I want to show you that if you look from the top, you have at the top here, you have 1, 2. Now I know some of y'all want to do this. Y'all want to take the shortcut, but that's really not fair. 1, 2, go on through. All right, and then you have a flat right here that's looking really solid. So you can see, right, that's kind of where price is currently as the market closed. And as you can see, the market closed right at our level. So we have agreement in the market that, price closed exactly where the market wants to be. Why did that happen? Well, if you look down here, you can see that the week coming has a lot of news coming up this week. So the reason is the banks balance out their sheets prior to big news coming. Look at this. You got unemployment rate. You got a lot of stuff coming for this coming week. All right, that's to open the week. As you continue to look at all these red folders, yellow folders, and last but not least, you have the final numbers for unemployment. So you have a lot of news coming, a lot of fundamentals, a lot of outside interference in the market. So the banks really needed to get their stuff kind of balanced before the week closed. That's why that candle ended exactly on our line right here, which is perfect. Now, what we really, I think, would expect this coming week is for this to play out. 1, 2, and I believe we're going to get a 3 before, either having a breakdown or having a breakout and a break up. One way or the other, we're okay with either one. Okay, we don't really care. Let me remove those lines for you real quick. But we don't really care. So if we do get a nice little number 3 right here, 1, 2, 3. The same principle we use down here, how you have wider gaps in between your supports, meaning stronger pushes. Notice here how it went down and came right back up. And look at the gap in between here. Now, that means it's speed, it's full, it's quick. Boom, boom, right back up. Now, if this ends up moving up and we get a 3 right in here somewhere, look at how much bigger the gap is in between structure levels on this trend line. Why is that? Because it's not as quick coming up. The same principles we understood with these lines down in here, remember that I showed you earlier, was showing you that price is slowing down. Well, that agrees here because you had a very quick move, and now it seems like we're having a much slower move before it works its way back up. That gives us confluence in the market, that the market truly is slow, and we're having slower moves. So, guys, that's actually really strong. That's really powerful, because what it does for us is it lets us know that if that rejects right here, the possibility of a true reversal is very high. Why? Because the market is already slowing down. If it breaks, then the next thing would be that we would probably see a little bit of sideways movement to gather strength before another breakout to the upside. So that's how we want to trade the market this week. We want to wait and see how price reacts in here. This area in here, between these two lines, this trend line down and this support where current price sits now. We want to see how price reacts in here. And do we get a break or do we get a rejection? That's going to be the key point. So that's what I have for you this week. That's going to show you a really solid week in the market. And I hope that you have a great, great week. Let's get it. Let's make this money. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. If you want to become a student, go to trendtrading.academy. Don't miss out, because we're doing this in depth in class, and we're sending the trade setups to all of our students. So don't miss out on that anymore. Go to trendtrading.academy. I'll see you in the next video.